record. Or action run.
Wait, never mind, you don't need to record?
No, do the phone.
Okay.
Okay. Solid. Alright, then I go do the recording. Actually, how are we going to know when it clapped?
That's why we need the recording.
Okay. Welcome back to the Enigma Exchange. This is episode 3. Today we're going to be talking about how to spot a conspiracy or find one or and such.
Yeah.
We're going to kind of talk about the not science behind it, but factual information about it, and then what?
Our friend Max is also sick, by the way.
Yeah.
So he's not going to be talking a whole lot.
Yeah. So, I was getting there, but anyway, so yeah, we'll just kind of spout some factual information about it in the first segment, and then depending on our time frame, we'll kind of give examples on how to spot them or make them or stuff like that. If that makes sense. Does that make sense, Cameron?
That makes perfect sense.
Okay. Anyway, on my right, we got Max. He's a little sick, so he's lost his voice. So I'm going to be doing a lot of the speaking, even though he got me sick and I can still talk. So anyway, he's on my right.
It's malicious intent, really. You try to get everyone sick.
Yeah, really. He's trying to lock me in this house with it is what is happening.
It's a conspiracy theory.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway, so then on the edge of the couch there, on my left, we got Cameron. So if you want to say hi.
Hello.
Then next to him, we got Kyle.
I'm tired.
As we all. Anyway, I guess we'll have. You want to start it off, Cameron, since you're the leader of this.
Yeah. So, when you're trying to spot a conspiracy theory, I feel like the best place to start is with knowing what a conspiracy theory is, and then from there you could kind of separate conspiracy theory from logic. And by definition, a conspiracy theory is the belief that certain events or situations are secretly manipulated behind the scenes by a powerful force with negative intent. So, any questions about that?
That's not the definition of a conspiracy theory.
It isn't? The definition on this, it says what are they, and then that's what...
Well, the definition, I'm trying to think, there's conspiracies out there that aren't.
Yeah, but the conspiracy theory part comes with negative intent by a force that's undefinable, or is definable, but lacks proof.
Conspiracy theories usually have 6 things in common. It's an alleged or secret plot, and usually there's a group that comes up with them. We call them conspirators. So it's a group of am I pronouncing that correctly? Conspirators. I thought it was never mind. There is no.
You can conspire.
Yes. Okay, that's what I keep thinking of. And then usually there's got to be evidence that seems to support the conspiracy theory.
Evidence.
I realize the evidence is air quoted, but my hands are holding the microphone, so I'm not doing that.
You only have one hand holding the microphone.
But it's in my armpit because it's cold. Anyway, moving on.
We'll cut that, right? We'll cut that.
Yes.
Yeah, they can't even hear you, so I'm glad. And then they falsely suggest that nothing happens by accident, and then that there were no coincidences. So nothing is as it appears, and everything is connected. It's usually one of the leading factors. Then they divide the world into good or bad, and they scapegoat people in groups. Do you have something you want to iterate on that, Max, or no? All right. So usually those are 6 things that conspiracy theories have in common.
And when it comes to conspiracy theories too, they'll start popping up when events or situations are difficult to piece together. So you have 9/11 or something, or you have JFK assassination, or Martin Luther King assassination. There's all these holes that people want filled in, and it's kind of a false sense of control. And conspiracy theories, they come from that, but they really start to snowball when it comes to trying to gain information, because when there's lots of holes missing, there's not a whole lot of supporting data, so people start to kind of grasp at straws.
I mean, really, it becomes a what if.
You have something to say, Max?
Wait. It's nothing good. I was just gonna say, why are you burping directly into the mic? That's.
Anyway.
And then also at the same time with that, where you were saying like it fills in holes and stuff.
Mm.
You always talk without it.
Okay. Anyhow, what I was saying is how you were saying like it fills in holes and stuff. I mean, then you have stuff like Flat Earth where the holes are pretty filled in, but they still think conspiracy.
Yeah.
So it's,
And
Well, then it just becomes like a matter of belief, I guess.
yeah, and that's what a lot of conspiracy theories boil down to.
that's my point. I'm basically done.
And I talked about this once before, I think on the Flat Earth episode. In that documentary, there's a psychologist that was talking about what people look for when they're trying to prove a conspiracy theory. And usually what happens is people will focus on the stuff that proves what they believe, and they will ignore the stuff that disproves it. So that's why a lot of these people get tunnel vision, and that's how, large conspiracies like Flat Earth are, still relevant, even though it's kind of ridiculous from an outside perspective.
So a way to check to see if something is a conspiracy or not is to check who the author was or is. A good way to spot a conspiracy is the author. If the author comes from like a reputable institution like a university, or is very knowledgeable in that field, or is an expert and gives facts that is easily can be easily backed up with evidence, that is most likely a good proof that it's not a conspiracy theory. But if it's the complete opposite, where the author is a self-proclaimed expert, or if they don't come from any reputable institution, that might be an author of a conspiracy theory.
So this is like, you trust someone with an article that has sources over someone's like 4chan
Yeah,
thread. Yeah,
yeah,
that's one easy way.
yeah. Very, very easy. It's almost common sense.
Why are you giving me like the Riz look? You started giving me a bombastic side eye.
Let's continue.
I don't know.
Another good way to check to see if it's conspiracy or not is how the author is explaining it. Is the author not shy from exploring the complexity along with different perspectives, whether for whatever the author is going on or against it? The author will also acknowledge the extent to how much they know about that topic, and will admit that they need to do more research on it.
What?
And it's their tone is completely, or mostly completely, all factual, no personal opinions or anything like that. They're just talking about like the straight facts, what is coming, the important. What?
And backing those facts up with evidence, because I mean, like, you can.
Yeah. All right. Just say what you were going to say.
No way.
What?
It stopped recording audio.
Max.
He has 3 minutes.
Max. I'm on 15 minutes, Max. I'm on 15. We're carrying off where the question's being asked. Which is...
It wasn't a question.
Or
I was just stating that what you were saying, that they have to be backed with the facts, that you have to have the evidence for the facts. Because, I mean, you could say the Earth is flat because of these facts, and those facts just be totally wrong. So they're not facts.
Yeah, so you can just make shit up and then not have any information backing it, and that's what the author's information is about. So you gotta have.
Which I guess goes back to check the source.
Yeah, it just goes back to checking the source.
Yeah.
Can you just grab the microphone when you need to speak?
And a way to check to see if it is a conspiracy is if that author presents their opinion as the only valid truth. That what they are saying is just the absolute truth with no wiggle room whatsoever. And the author will also just present questions instead of answering anything. The author will also kind of demonize or use as a scapegoat for who they think is behind that conspiracy theory that they're making. And their tone is kind of emotionally charged.
Are we having more technical issues over here, or
No.
no? Okay, just making sure.
Their tone is emotionally charged and kind of subjective, and those are some pretty good reasons for how you can see.
I'm gonna have to edit that out later. There's gonna be some random peeking.
That's fine.
So like, it's pretty simple to debunk whether an article is like
It's
a conspiracy theory or, like an actual factual piece.
it's all common sense.
Yeah.
So if you at least have like the bare minimum of common sense, you can probably find out what a conspiracy theory is and what is not. Max,
Just like,
what is a real conspiracy?
what is a real conspiracy, Max? Into the mic, please.
Speak.
Really have someone.
What is a real conspiracy, Tucker?
Yeah, so asking on that question, are real conspiracies, like large and small, they are more often centered on like a single self-contained event. So I think Cameron mentioned that earlier, but like 9/11, JFK assassination, stuff like that. It's usually pretty specific about the event. Or an individual, like the assassination of Coup d'Etat. Not sure I pronounced that last part right, but...
Coup d'etat?
Is it Coup d'Etat?
A coup? Yeah.
A coup d'Etat? a coup de matata?
Did you think of the person?
Cool. Dick.
An assassination or a coup d'etat?
Yeah, I thought, sorry, I saw
Very
and
popular
I
French
thought that was,
dictator. Coup de.
They are unearthed by whistleblowers in the media using variable facts and evidences.
And that's like how Watergate was exposed, was through like an actual conspiracy, not like,
I mean,
flat
well,
Earth.
conspiracies are right sometimes.
Yeah,
And
that's what we're saying.
Yeah.
Is like there's conspiracy theories and conspiracies, and that's what we're trying to separate. You might find that if you're looking at a conspiracy theory or something you might think is a conspiracy theory and it makes sense, you might want to ask yourself some questions if you're seeing these patterns we discussed, because I feel like a self-analysis is also a good starting point in debunking stuff. I have a bunch of questions that you should ask yourself. One of them are, what are my fears, beliefs, and values? Another one is, do I have prejudices? And do I believe in stereotypes? Do I feel disadvantaged? Do I feel I need to blame someone else? How do I choose my sources of information? And how has this changed? And by asking yourself these questions, and if you're looking at, for example, 9/11, if you have a prejudice against Muslims, then you're obviously biased, and you can tell that you're feeding into the conspiracy theory. And yeah, so if you do that,
Well, isn't the conspiracy theory that Bush did 9/11?
yeah, but during the time of 9/11, there's a bunch of conspiracies.
What?
there's a bunch of conspiracies against Muslim immigrants. So that's where I was kind of drawing that. Because stereotypes are big in conspiracy theories. And yeah.
All right, thank you guys for joining us today for today's episode. I know we talked about like how to spot one, and we also kind of talked about debunking a little bit and what goes into like making a conspiracy as well. So we kind of got like a huge, like all around kind of event today. But yeah, so I think that's gonna conclude it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys took something away from it as well, and hope to get you guys in the next episode. So thank you guys.
Bye-bye.